Hey, thanks for tuning in to the B3 podcast. I'm Nick Strauss, your host, and I'm here with Danny Nunez. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's a Nunez.
Nunez, yeah. And he's with, God, what, SAE? What does that stand for?
Society of Automotive Engineers. The one on campus is actually Formula SAE just because it's electric.
That's awesome. So that means that you guys have kind of like a niche within that broader organization, right?
Yeah, the Formula SAE is just the racing branch of SAE basically. It's all under Society of Automotive Engineers. So.
Racing, that's pretty cool. Is there actual events where you guys compete? Or?
Oh yeah, last June I think it was, they took the 2017 car up to Lincoln, Nebraska. Unfortunately, didn't get to run, but I mean they still went and built a car and everything like that. That's the one of the goals for this year. Might be a long shot to get into the competition because we're like 10th in line on the waiting list, but we are going to do some kind of racing competition this year.
That's good to hear. Can we take a step back real quick and kind of introduce what SAE is and sort of like what its goals are and what it's kind of like being on this campus?
Yeah, for SAE at UNCA is just we're only involved in the electric racing vehicle side. Uh, Basically, everything in the powertrain is electric. Just like it would sound, just like you, that everybody knows Teslas and stuff like that. Those are electric vehicles, so kind of
Right.
just like that. As far as UNCA campus, we have about 20 members right now, and they range all the way from new media to engineering to math to I think we have some communications majors in there. So it's if you're interested in racing and you like racing, you like building cars, and you're on campus, it's something you could get into. We could find you something to do.
That's cool. So you guys, I mean, you're pulling from like the whole breadth of all of the majors that the school has to offer.
Oh yeah, I mean anybody can be involved in this team. It doesn't have to be any specific major. I mean, you can come in and we can find you something that has to do with your major.
That's good. So what about off campus? What about SAE in general? It goes beyond just this campus, correct?
Yeah, it does. About a month and a half ago, we did the Asheville Electric Vehicle Week. A bunch of us volunteered there. Basically, everybody comes in, brings their electric vehicle, shows them off. There were some really cool ones. There was one guy driving his Tesla with his phone. He closed all the doors and just sitting there driving his car. It was kind of creepy.
Like a game or something, right?
Pretty much, kind of like Watch Dogs or something.
Yeah. So in the design of y'all's projects, like what do you guys take into account first?
The first thing that we're designing this year, the main focus so far has been the accumulator box, which is basically the battery box.
Right.
Because there are so many safety issues with that. Obviously, you're dealing with a lot of high power. You're dealing with a lot of basically a bomb kind of.
Really?
So it's it's been a lot of thought process putting into the design of the accumulator box. Right now, we're waiting to get the 2017 car up and running so we can get test data off of that so we can keep moving forward.
And so that means that everything you guys are building is in-house, right? There's nothing being borrowed from other commercial products, right?
Yeah, pretty much everything from the tubes for the frame, the any kind of sheet metal work. I mean, obviously we can't build batteries, we can't build motors, we can't build stuff like that. But pretty much everything from the ground up for the car we built. Last year they built all of the hubs for the car. They built the brake rotors from scratch. They built the shafts. I mean, it's pretty cool. All the stuff we can do in the Steam Studio over there.
I was about to say, so that Steam Studio must be where you guys do most of your operations work, huh?
Oh yeah, with the lathe and mill and everything like that over there, and the CNC machines and all that stuff, we have everything you could need to build a car over there. I'm actually in the process. Last semester they built a custom tube notcher to help us build the frame and blew a voltage regulator. So I'm in the process of fixing that right now so we can use it for this year's car.
Yeah, you don't want to like break that stuff.
Yeah.
So just to give some context to people who might not know, is this something like a weekly club you can go to, or is it just an ongoing process to where you kind of like join the team?
It's actually both. We have weekly meetings every Thursday at 6 p.m. They're in Rhodes Robinson 212. Anybody's free to attend. And then pretty much every week, people are working on something. Like I said, right now we're working mostly on the accumulator box and I think the brake system. But every piece of that car is broken up into certain. So anytime you want to show up and do something, you're more than welcome to come show up and do something.
What is like the time frame for working on a car from scratch? Like how long is it taking you guys to get to where you are, and how long do you think it'll go for before you have a product that you envisioned?
Well, this semester we've had a lot better planning and everything because we learned from the mistakes that we made last semester because we kind
Nice.
of waited to the last minute to get everything going. So that's kind of why the car didn't run in Lincoln. But this semester, we used up until about 2 weeks from now has been design time. Basically, designing everything, designing the brakes, designing the steering, designing the accumulator box, all that stuff. Starting the beginning of next semester is when we'll start actually building. Because if we want to have something running, we need to have it built by probably February, March timeframe, and then have enough time to test it so that we can race it. The Lincoln competition's in June, but if we go to another competition, that could change. So
And are you guys, when you're designing it, are you simulating it? Are you, is it all math? Like, what does it look like at this stage?
it's a lot of math. It's a lot of engineering. It's a lot of SolidWorks. If you're familiar with computer aided design at all, a lot of people use SolidWorks to get a lot of the data off it, and they can do different simulations with it. And pretty much all of our models are done through SolidWorks. So
Could you tell me a little bit more about SolidWorks? I'm actually not familiar.
yeah, it's a computer aided design software, just like Fusion 360
Okay.
or yeah, it's any of those computer aided design. It's just they all have their own little quirks, and SolidWorks just happens to be the one that we use through NC State. So and it's really really useful.
Is NC State, I know that's a huge engineering hub, for the state college system. Is that something that SAE is running through, or is it just kind of there helping you out?
No, SAE is this chapter of SAE is strictly on from UNCA,
Okay.
but NC State has their own SAE chapter.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
And the only reason I brought that up is because a lot of the classes that we as engineers take are through state, so we
That's true
use the
through that program.
SolidWorks stuff. So that's where we get it from. It's what's on the computers here.
So are you an alumni? Are you a student currently?
I am currently a student. I graduate this coming May, hopefully. So yeah,
Congratulations on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Making it up and out into the world. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So back to the car, I guess. I'm trying to envision what it's going to look like. And is it going to be like a traditional body type, or is it going to be something more experimental?
It'll be traditionally what you think of a race car looks like: a tubular frame, motor in the back, slick wheels, the hubs, stuff like that. It's open wheeled. Pretty much, if any of the listeners want to get a good idea what it looks like, just Google any kind of Formula SAE electric race vehicle, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. Everyone has their own little quirks, their own little differences, but they're pretty much a similar platform.
That's good. Working in this type of project field, I mean, it must be a lot easier if you're already a car guy, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you have to have a passion for doing something like this because it is a lot of extra time outside of, if you really want to get involved with it, it's a lot of extra time outside of your normal coursework. But a lot of our guys are really passionate about it. They really want to get into it. They really like building. And I have a more mechanical, like combustion engine background than I do electric. So it's a little different for me. But as far as steering and braking and everything, it's all the same.
Right. Speaking of like ICEs and all sorts of like old forms of motors, I hear that alternative energy is like, especially recently, it's making a really big push because prices are getting so cheap. And does that mean that in the future you guys will be working on projects that incorporate, I don't know, solar panels, for instance, or have you already done something like that?
Solar power would probably not be feasible for something like this
Not
because
something like a race, yeah, but unless it
Yeah.
was only solar powered racers, right?
Yeah. But yeah, something with this because you need a good amount of power to power these things, so to make these things go. And solar just doesn't generate enough. But yeah, I mean SAE is a foot into any of those companies that you could want to work for. They are all in on the SAE thing. Like SpaceX is there almost every year. Not Blue Echo. Yeah. Sorry, there's another company that starts with Blue. Now I'm confusing with Blue Echo.
A lot of blues out there.
They're all the big major Ford, Chevy, they're always there every time. Dodge, like every big major company, all the suppliers to those guys, they're all there. They're all at SAE. Everyone is in on SAE, so it's
So they're all paying attention. That's good to know
Yeah.
for any students who are potentially interested in more extracurricular activities. Um,
actually one of our SAE students. She was a freshman in the program, had only gone through I think one engineering class, and I can't remember Tenneco. Tenneco offered her an internship up in Michigan, like her freshman year, like a co-op basically. So she's been up there for I think a year working, and she's going to come back and go back and forth with that. I mean, no engineering experience whatsoever, and got an engineering internship because of SAE.
That is awesome. I mean, it really goes to show how some of these programs could just put you in the right place. I guess I want to like switch gears and inquire if there's any more projects that you guys work on other than just building and designing the car. Like I know there was a showcase recently, correct?
Yeah, that was that electric vehicle day I was talking about earlier. It was out at the Asheville Outlet Malls. Basically, that was it was more done by the electric vehicle society they have here, and we just kind of volunteered with it.
Right, you
to
just
help
kind of
them out.
hopped in there. That's good.
Yeah, but we brought the car out there, got a lot of good interest in it. So
Right now, is there anything physical to look at from either this year or previous years?
yeah, the 2017 car is in Rhodes Robinson, the shop in 052. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with it.
Rhodes Robinson 052. Go check it out.
Yeah, and I'm shop manager right now, so if I'm in there, you're more than welcome to come look at it.
That's awesome.
Make sure you're wearing closed-toed shoes though.
You ever have any problems with stuff like that? I know at this school a lot of people don't like shoes, including me. I'm wearing sandals right now.
That's actually kind of what made me think to say it. Not really, because a lot of the people that come in there are in the engineering curriculum.
They know what's up,
They
yeah.
know. Yeah, they know you're not supposed to come in sandals. They know. We're pretty strict on stuff like safety glasses and open-toe shoes, which we have to be. But no, we really don't have too many problems with it. I mean, if I ask people to leave, they normally don't. They get it.
When people are driving the vehicle, is it have to have like a specific safety rating, or is it have any safety like situation inside of it? What's that kind of like?
Yeah, I can't remember how many page document that lists all the safety concerns you have to have, like for harnesses, certain angles of the seat, the braking power, how much room you have to have for the driver, how far back the accumulator box has to be from the firewall. So there's just a bunch of different. I mean, it's a really big document for the safety stuff.
Is it true? Sorry, this is kind of going to come out of left field. Is it true that because of like the amount of torque you can get from an electric engine, that these cars can just go really fast, extreme, like they can accelerate really quickly? Is that true?
Oh yeah, the cars accelerate quick. They're really quick off the line.
Could these cars beat like a traditional, maybe not like a race car, but a traditional combustion engine vehicle like your average sedan? Are they designed to be faster than that?
Off the line probably.
Wow.
I've never seen any tests done with it, so I can't say for sure. But I would say, yeah, off the line, it'd probably beat them.
Wow. So like, what kind of like speeds are we looking at here? I mean, I bet people are interested to know like exactly what y'all are like dealing with that.
I want to say I remember somebody telling me it was around. They get up to around 50 miles per hour.
That's pretty sick. Honestly.
Now the courses that they run on, they normally don't get up that fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I want to say they can get up to 50 miles an hour.
And they can do it pretty quick then, huh?
Yeah, they can do it pretty quick.
That's what's up. I don't think a lot of people who are just used to seeing traditional vehicles, traditional cars, like they can wrap their head around that kind of acceleration because it's instant. It's not like you have to rev up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's electric motors are really, really cool to look at. They're really fun to play with too.
Does that mean they don't have transmission either? Or do they have a different kind of transmission?
No, the one we have does not have a transmission. You have like gearbox. You'll have a gearbox, and you can gear them down, gear them up, but you're not shifting gears.
That's cool. I'm not like the biggest car guy. I've got like a little bit of knowledge and experience. So to me, it's still really interesting because I mean I don't think I've ever seen up close like how a electric vehicle functions.
Now the stuff that we're talking about here is also the SAE race vehicle, which I have experience with. I don't have a lot of experience with like Teslas and stuff like that. So those could be different. I don't know. I don't have the experience with those. So
yeah, I mean, of course, those are just like consumer cars at this point. For I guess if it's Tesla, you gotta have a lot of money. But
actually, the ones the newer ones that come out with the Model 3s are only going for like 40,000.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Now that's probably a base model.
Yeah,
So,
I bet you that could rack up real quick.
Yeah.
But, that's cool. I've seen a couple Teslas around, but
they're really cool cars.
Like
I was saying, that one guy was driving with his phone. It was just that kind of scares me.
That scares me because that means somebody could like hack in potentially if you can control it with Bluetooth or something. That means it's a little too open maybe, but I don't know. I was watching, God, I forget his name, GeoHot, the guy who first jailbroke the iPhone and the PS3 is actually working on like a smartphone enabled like self-driving situation where you can literally use your phone and its sensors and cameras to interface with your car's sensors and cameras to drive your car without any of the expensive Google sensors that they're using, or the Tesla sensors that Tesla's experimenting with.
Wow.
And so yeah, are you guys ever, I know it's like you're focused on making an electric race car, but does SAE maybe in this branch or other branches consider like the future of automated driving? Is that a thing that you guys do anything with?
I don't think that's something that's even crossed any of our minds. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are looking to go work for companies that have stuff like that. But as far as the SAE chapter here on UNCA, I don't think that's anything we've looked at.
Could you imagine like a automated race, like these computers trying to like go fast? Ah, man, that'd be a mess.
Basically, a big RC race.
Yeah, honestly, that might be where we're headed, though.
Yeah.
Giant RC cars. Those are electric.
Yeah. That's actually a good way to think about how fast those things accelerate. If you're in an RC car,
instant.
Yeah, they just go.
So, Danny, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to the B3 podcast and explaining, once again, like the SAE is open and available to anyone on campus. You don't have to just be engineering, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's open to all degrees. SAE is not, it's Society of Automotive Engineers, but it is open to anybody that is interested in some kind of a race vehicle.
Cool. And is there anyone who we can contact to get involved?
Yeah, the best contact info would probably be Dave Erb. He's our faculty advisor. He is part of the engineering faculty. I believe his email is just derb@unca.edu, and he can get you in touch with the president, vice president, whoever. But honestly, if you're really interested, just come to a meeting Thursday, 6 p.m. in Rhodes Robinson Hall, room 212, and we can get you signed up. Or at least listen to what we have to say, then we can get you signed up, and you're ready to go.
Right on. Danny Nunez, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
All right, this is Nick Strauss signing off for the B3 podcast. Hope you guys had a good time. I hope you tune in next time. Yeah, have a good one.